Happy
Yeah.
Canada Day, everyone. We are recording this just days after the Canada Day long weekend, and I have just returned from a lovely weekend in the wilderness at Christina Lake. I hope you've all had some family time or time with friends or quilting fun, of course. So, Monica, what did you do this weekend?
I was actually very busy behind my computer trying to get everything ready for my new
I
subscription box.
I bet you were so busy getting everything ready for this launch, and this is what we're going to talk about today. So, let's get started by getting to know you a little bit. So
Mhm.
let me just introduce you slightly, and then I'll get you to introduce yourself, which can be fun. So my guest today is Monica Henry of Penny Spool Quilts. She's known for her bright and modern quilt designs, and she'll introduce herself in a minute. I'm really happy to feature a new Canadian product on the scene. Monica got the hint that this didn't exist and jumped at the chance to meet the needs of Canadians right here at home. So, Monica, let's jump into that idea first. How did you think up this new product?
Um, I came across a post on social media where someone was asking whether there were any quilt subscription boxes based in Canada that were not just a fabric subscription. They didn't want a stash builder.
Yeah.
They wanted actually like a product or sorry, a project based
Yeah.
box, like the ones we know from the States, but without the exchange rate and the long shipping and all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that is so great.
So,
It's such a good idea to have a quilt subscription box with everything in it that you need to make the project. And it's
mhm.
Canadian. So let's get into a little bit about you. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what do you bring to the world with Penny Spool quilts?
I'm a quilt pattern designer and teacher.
Yeah.
So I design patterns like what you see behind me, modern, kind of minimalist, very bright, a
Yeah.
lot of rainbows. And I teach my patterns, I teach workshops, and yeah, that's what I do. I try to teach a little bit on my blog with tutorials and just basically want to bring my love for quilting to other people.
So we can find you on Instagram at Penny Spool Quilts, right?
Yes, and that's penny like the coin, spool for a spool of thread, quilt.
Okay, great. And where do you live in Canada and who do you surround yourself with every day?
I'm just outside of Ottawa, about a half-hour drive. We're quite rural, so it's the city's nearby, but there's a lot of trees around here. I live here with my husband, two teenagers, flock of chickens, the dog, the cat, and my quilty community is mostly online, actually.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's nice to be out in the wilderness, right?
it's the wilderness right on the edge of town, so that's
Yeah.
the two things I like.
Oh, great. Yeah. And it's nice to be surrounded by that quilting community online so you can
Mhm.
connect whenever you need to. Okay.
Yes.
So, what is this subscription box all about?
Um, Basically, it's trying to bring Canadian talent to Canadian quilters. It's all about featuring Canadian pattern designers, fabric from Canadian companies, and then there is a little local element to it as well that I think we're going to get into a little bit later. So,
So there's a pattern with the materials to make it.
yeah.
And who are you partnering with to bring each box to the community?
So we partner with a different pattern designer, Canadian designer, each box. It's a quarterly box, so it comes out 4 times a year.
Yeah.
And each box will feature a different Canadian pattern designer who is designing an exclusive pattern for the box. So you haven't seen it before.
Yeah.
And then we are currently partnered with Northcott Fabrics for the fabrics in the box. So there will be everything you need to finish the project that the designer dreams up. It's for a mini quilt or table runner, that sort of thing, so that you can actually finish the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, that is so great. So it's kind of themed around where the designer lives in Canada, right?
That is the other half of the box.
Oh,
So the pattern that they design is meant to show off their style. Because I
okay.
want to introduce quilters to pattern designers in Canada. Because a lot of times we don't realize, are they American? Are they Australian? Are they British? Are they Canadian? you don't really know where they're from. So I want to make sure people know who the homegrown talent is, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then the other half of the box, or the surroundings of that.
Yeah.
So this pattern is just to show the designer's style, and
Yeah.
then the rest of the box is based on where this designer lives.
Oh, so that's
And so
the
either
fun
their
secret
city,
part.
their region. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, great.
So it'll be something souvenir-like,
Yeah.
but not kitschy souvenir.
Yeah.
Like I'm partnering with local artists
Oh,
from
awesome.
where the designer lives, and there might be a fun little thing in there, maybe a food treat sometimes, depending on what area we're going to and what they're famous for.
Ah, okay. So what I'm hearing, like I'm just making this up out of my head, but for example, if the quilt pattern designer happened to live in Quebec, then perhaps there would be maple syrup theme, for example, or something like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds really good.
Or
So
like for me locally, Ottawa, there might be a tea towel with the Parliament building
yeah, okay. That sounds
printed on it, hand drawn by a local artist or
yeah.
something along those lines.
Oh, I love that local artist component. Okay, that sounds really good. So you mentioned that this comes out quarterly
Mhm.
and you're really trying to have a focus on all Canadian products, right?
Yes. Yeah. We're making this box as close to 100% Canadian as possible. Obviously, fabric is not being made in Canada, but we're supporting a Canadian fabric distributor. So we're going as Canadian as we can.
Yeah, and you have a wonderful choice for your very first designer. It's not secret anymore because she has
No,
posted on all over her
yeah,
socials and blog and
we know
everything.
who she is.
So tell us about the first designer.
It's Leanne Parsons, and you can find her work at Devoted Quilter on Instagram, or devotedquilter.com is her website.
Oh, fun. So you can go and check her out, and you'll probably get little sneak peeks on her social media and everything because she's going to be working on things or making sure everything's ready. Okay, so tell us a little bit about the timeline of this first box. I know that it went on pre-sale July 1st and there's a 10% discount until the 13th. But how does the timeline go from there?
Yes, so we have pre-sale, and in addition to the 10% discount, you also get a free maple leaf block
Oh,
pattern that you can download when you subscribe between July 1st and July 13th.
okay.
And then after that, you can still subscribe until August 10th,
Okay.
because the first box will come out, or will ship, I should say, on September 1st.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. So tell us a little bit about the pricing. How does that work?
It's $108 per box,
Yeah.
so $108 per quarter, and shipping's included in that.
Oh,
Canadian shipping.
that's
We
really
do
good.
ship it abroad as well, so if you're a Canadian abroad, or you just want to support
Yeah.
Canadian makers, you can absolutely get the box,
Yeah.
but shipping is extra then.
Yeah, so outside Canada, there's a bit of
Yeah.
shipping cost, but inside Canada, that saves you like 20 bucks. That's a really good deal. Okay, well, that sounds awesome. So there will definitely be a link in the show notes to click and get that early bird price and that extra free block until July 13th. But where can we find you on the socials with this quilt subscription box?
It's called Quilt the North, and Quilt the North is what I've used for every social channel that I could find. Oh, that I'm on.
Yeah.
So I'm on Facebook at Quilt the North, no spaces, just jam it all together. Same on Instagram. And on my own website, you can find the details if you go to pennyspoolquilts.com. And then in the top menu bar, there is a tab for Quilt the North.
Yeah, okay. And you've seen this already if you're watching right now. If you're on my social media, you've seen this already on the Quilter on Fire socials because I did a nice post on Canada Day. Be sure to follow along on Monica's journey as she releases her first all-Canadian quilting subscription box called Quilt the North. It's such a great iconic name for Canada. So yeah, have some fun with this. Sign up if you have a chance before the 13th so you get the early bird deal. And, all I can say about this is great idea, Monica. It's super fun. I'm really glad to see this happening in Canada. Usually we're having to order from all over the world and shipping is astronomical. So it's so nice to see this happening in Canada. So elbows up, Canada. We want to support Canadians in business for Canadians. And this is a wonderful idea and product. I can't wait to see the first box on my doorstep. Monica, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your story today and this wonderful product.
Well, thanks for having me.